and dads, welcome to 5 Questions with your classical educator. I'm here today with Vincent Capone. He is one of our new instructors. He's been in classical education for a decade. And so I'm going to jump right into it and start asking him questions. Good morning.
Morning, Joanne.
All right. So tell us, who is your favorite author and why?
Lewis. I know I'm sure way too many teachers say that, but I was first exposed to him probably in depth in high school, and got to really read a lot of his works. And in that experience, I just realized not many writers could dive into so many genres and have such an impact. When you think about nonfiction, theology, fiction, children's books, science fiction, and his personal life as well, kind of following a somewhat unconventional track, you would think at the time, particularly for somebody who's a bachelor most of his life. He's living with his brother, ends up getting married late in life. So, I've just always appreciated the journey God took him on.
Yeah. Well, we love C.S. Lewis. Our Great Hall ecumenical mission comes from mere Christianity. So you'll find a lot of C.S. Lewis fans here for sure.
Absolutely.
All right. What about your favorite quote having to do with education? What comes to mind?
This is one I just stumbled across this one recently, this year probably, but it just really hit me. And it's an anonymous one, don't even know where it's from, but it's that truth does not mind being questioned, a lie does not like being challenged. And I really took that to heart as a teacher, particularly a history teacher, working with my students about how do we assess sources and determine authority, and the truth's going to stand up, especially when you really investigate it and when you ask questions. And that's the biggest thing that I think we see in education a lot of times, is a failure to teach us to ask questions about everything. We got to ask questions about things and explore. So I think that was one that really succinctly encapsulated one of my goals and hopes as a teacher, is to teach my students to ask questions, because a lot of times truth will be revealed just in the questions you're asking.
You are one of our kind of special instructors that goes across the trivium and the quadrivium. So I wonder if you could just briefly kind of tell us about how you ended up with that love for the humanities and the math and science.
I was homeschooled K through 12, so really got a full spectrum. My mom did an incredible job giving me exposure to all these subjects, and really recognizing that I had success and all of them did well. The typical stereotype of you have your math and science brains and then you have your humanity and English brains over there. I never fit into that, never agreed that that's that's reality across the board. You might have that, but I did very well with math, loved it, because there's that sense of it was a puzzle to solve. Whenever I'm doing a math lesson, I can solve these puzzles. Like some person might like doing Sudoku or a crossword puzzle. For me, it was that same game in a sense. You're finding answers and solving problems. And the science, as I got more into the science, was the practicality of it. Seeing, particularly with biology, chemistry, physics, when you see these things in everyday life, those are the aspects I really liked. But then with the humanities and history, I think it was just being raised with an appreciation for story. The fact that we're living in a story as Christians, where each one of us have a story, we're part of the grand story. So I think that was really the biggest thing, that as I really dug in, I think living in New Jersey really furthered my appreciation of history, because our American Revolutionary history is all around me. I'm probably within 30 minutes of a dozen key locations in our country's founding. So I just love going out and seeing these places, whether it's battlefields, Washington's Crossing, all these things. So I think my upbringing was really a big factor in that.
Well, thank you for sharing yourself with us. Parents, if you're interested in Mr. Capone's classes, you can find them in our tutoring center and for pre-algebra this 22-23 academic year. Take care.